We have all been distracted before while studying or working or in the gym, whenever really. We all suffered distraction. We all experience distraction. We all hate it. And some people try to find ways so they can stop getting distracted, and unfortunately, they keep relapsing over and over again. So, in this video, I have tactics on how you can stop distracting yourself or stop being distracted by outer sources. So I can spend hours, if not days, talking about the things that distract you. But the only thing that distracts you is the internet. And unfortunately, people never acknowledge it. They just blame their phone, but they don't blame the main source of the actual distraction, which is the internet. Which leads me to my first way to not get distracted while studying: turning off your Wi-Fi. You don't need to turn off your router from the whole house. You just need to turn off the Wi-Fi through your phone, your computer, or whatever, really. Just don't have internet while wanting to study or to work. There are three things that you should keep in mind when I say this. This is something that could give you permission so you can use the internet while working. Firstly, if your work is all about the internet, if the job that you have is just answering emails, then yeah, you do have credit to use internet. But you would have to download a Google Chrome extension which is called Freedom. And Freedom is basically something that you put in your Google Chrome, and it basically blocks the sites that you want it to block, like Facebook, Instagram, whatever you find distracts you mostly. For me, it was Instagram. So I downloaded Freedom, I blocked Instagram, and my work improved significantly writing those scripts or making those videos or doing some edits here. But I realized that the only thing that distracted me was Instagram, and the only thing that fixed it is Freedom extension. The second thing that would give you permission so you can use the internet while studying is actually having a roadblock. And the only thing that would remove this roadblock is that if you went through the internet. That means if you're studying something and you did not understand it, the only credit that I will give you so you can use the internet is because you don't have the knowledge to continue. So you are stuck. So you need the internet so you can keep on going. Look up the missing information that you have, but keep in mind that we are human beings. There are times where you are going to feel that you want to check the email that your friend sent you, or to see this match, or to see who won between this team and this team. The only thing you should keep in mind is that you have to resist this temptation. And once you finish finding whatever is missing, go back to your flow state and turn off your Wi Fi again. And the last thing that would give you permission so you can use the internet is that if you have to call someone so you can recover something, or you can remind him of something, or you need some help with your homework that you can't really find in the internet. But basically, you use it so you can help yourself study, so you can keep on moving forward and not having a roadblock that stops you from moving. And then the second way you can get rid of any distractions that you have through your workspace or your studying session. Keep in mind something called mindful meditation. This is when you basically focus on only one thing and one thing only, and you resist whatever comes between that focusing session. So now, hypothetically, if I'm studying, I got books, I'm writing some notes, I'm deeply working, and then suddenly I think of the exam that's coming up, or the friend who me and him we're gonna hang out in the weekend or whatever. If my mind shifted from focusing from studying to something else, you should shift back your brain once you have the realization that you're not focusing on your studies. Shift it back to the study itself. And keep in mind, don't feel guilty that your brain thinks of something else, not like the study that you are focusing on. Just keep in mind, we are human beings. We are meant to procrastinate. We are meant to be distracted. But I'm here to help you. When you resist scrolling on your phone, when you resist this kind of food, for example, when you resist something that you want to do that you know if you did not do, you're going to be improved. If you resisted this kind of feeling or this kind of food that was going to ruin you, just put in your mind that this is all being stored for your success. You're not resisting it because you hate yourself. Put in your mind the only person who will save you is you. This is my most famous quote. The only person who will save you is you. If you're someone who's distracted, it's okay to be distracted. Just put in your mind you have to resist this temptation. Your brain strengthens and becomes better the more you resist it. But keep in mind that your brain gets tired too. But once you finished studying, that's when I'm gonna give you credits. You can use your phone or do whatever you please. But keep in mind that if you resist social media or whatever, not only in just studying, but also in day to day life, you actually get your brain used to cope and to survive and to have its dopamine and its enjoyment without the phone. Like, honestly, I deleted all social media through my phone so I can get used to the work without social media. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone is talking about social media. And I'm not someone who would join them because I'm not capable on going to social media because I don't even have it. So when you resist the temptation, not only that you train your brain so you can focus more, but it also makes it used to saying no. So now when your phone buzzes, when you have a notification or when someone calls, you now have the temptation to leave it alone and not get your hand and just stick to it, and then you get addicted and you get so attached to that phone, scrolling for hours and hours and hours, and then you put in your mind that you're going to study and then you don't. Have like an additional tip from me. If you change your environment by spending money, you are more likely to focus. Let me elaborate, let me explain. If you go to a cafe, you realize that most students are actually in the cafes. Most students actually go there and they study or they do their work or they do whatever, but something that relates to their goal. And why is it so effective to work in a cafe? Because you spent money to sit down on that seat. You spent money to actually have this kind of position. So your brain puts some value on that current state that you're in. So you focus more. So my point is to try to have a studying session in a cafe. You will do so much. You will be so focused, you won't need any willpower because you paid money to be in that kind of state. And your brain programs itself to just focus. And as always, focus on only yourself because the only person who will save you is yourself.